Good morning, everyone. This is Julie McDonald with Microcom Technologies, and I'd like to thank all of you for attending today's webinar with MTI Wireless Edge. Today's host is Ofer Bismuth, and he will be presenting today. He is their Director of Sales and Marketing for North America. Ofer will answer any questions you may have at the end of today's presentation, so please make sure to put your questions in the question box for Ofer. Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Ofer, for being with us today. I am finished for now. Please go ahead and take it on over.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Here it's almost 8 p.m. So if I'm a little bit tired, just push me. So in general, I will try to explain the bottom line, why you need to choose kind of a good solution for antenna, because today it's more complicated. It's not only antenna, it's a solution. So first of all, I will explain the motivation to have a better design antenna. I call it starving for capacity, and I will explain about this. I will do a short introduction about MTI and our capability as a company. And then we go a little bit detailed technical about consideration of antenna selection. And we are open all the day for question and discussion, whatever you need, I would be here. And of course, you have always option to do offline answer question, sending to Microcom any email regarding the presentation or any other question regarding the antenna. So what is the motivation for capacity? Okay, one of the things that it's very clear today that more and more social application are doing more live streaming, video, mobile application, different kind of mobile, virtual, augmented reality. So you can see that a lot of applications today are involved more video, more online, try to be in a big show with 10,000 people that are doing video and streaming and everything. So there is a for sure a huge demand for capacity, and I will explain why it's pushing everyone to make a better solution for antenna. Not all by the way, the solution we can support, but most of them, okay? And also a big location like stadium, event, we talk about the campus building, are doing more and more requirement for video, for whatever you need. Everything it's connected now with a lot of bandwidth, and no one talking about now about text message. Everyone talking about WhatsApp with video, with friends, with family, whatever, with the customer. So everything it's required a lot of capacity. So what's happened that most of the standards are going today, in the beginning, they talk about 2x2 from single polarity to two polarity, then 4x4. Now everyone talking about 8x8. This is the new technology, but already there is a lot of antenna manufacturer, or let's say antenna system or design that support 60 by 60 MIMO and 180 by 180 MIMO. So it's very clear that to have on a very small size of antenna, to have this kind of complicated antenna, it's mandatory that you have a better antenna technology. Okay, it's very clear. So one end is the demand which pushing the technology, and the technology making the antenna design more sophisticated and complicated. So today everyone already moved to 11AX, but another 11, it's on the way, 11B, on the standard process. So we are talking about 8x8 today. We saw more and more demand for 80 gigahertz and 60 gigahertz. In the 80 gigahertz, it's more like the E-band. it's more like, if we're talking about capacity, there is always a requirement for the backbone, for the point-to-point, for the, to take all the capacity to the bone of the network. So 80 gigahertz is the link. We saw 60 gigahertz for point-to-point. You can see some vendors that are doing 60 gigahertz point-to-point, multi-point, and also 28 gigahertz. The old frequency is coming up, and there are some manufacturers that have a radio for this. By the way, also point-to-point and multi-point. For sure, there is a need for smart antenna technology, and I will explain about this. There is also a lot of demand for fixed LTE in some frequency. We will talk a little bit about TV white space, because again, there is a demand for capacity, and there is a lot of frequency that can support this, and some of them are more efficiency than the other one. We'll talk about this, and I will explain also a little bit about CBRS, although everyone, I think, aware about the crazy that are going over CBRS. So this is just example from what's happened from jumping from AC to AX. You can see the capacity growing. Of course, as you can see also the modulation, it must be higher in order to support much more efficiency over the air. But you can see a lot of things are moving forward with new capacity. Of course, this is the radio, okay? The antenna, it's more, let's say, it's more less sophisticated than the radio, but still need to support all the requirements of specific radio. So as I mentioned, you can see that we are moving more and more on X by X. I think it's going to be X by X or X by Y antenna solution. And the funny thing that the size doesn't change, okay? This is the crazy thing, okay? It doesn't mean that you go to 60 by 64. It doesn't mean that you need a bigger antenna, because 2 by 2, it's, I don't know, 1 foot. So 64 by 64, it's, I don't know, multiple foot. No, the size is going to be the same. It's going to be more complicated, more design, comprehensive solution. So this is the direction, okay? More antenna on the same size and even smaller size. This is just example from a company that was bought by Cambion today, Xero. So you can see that on the same size, you multiple and the antenna, and you don't decrease the size, because one of the bottom line is a price. Okay, if you increase the size, the price is going to increase. So everyone try to keep the same price with more complicated solution. Just idea about smart antenna. In general, everyone today almost have smart antenna. Okay, maybe they don't say this. It's called beamforming or whatever the name, but the main idea that there is a smart mechanism over the air that try to maximize the capacity. Again, capacity, it's limited per frequency. So they try to maximize for per user the capacity. So the idea is to get more capacity, more coverage, try to understand that we will, I'm not going deeply about smart antenna, but the idea is that you get maximum gain to desired direction that need the capacity. And there is a lot of benefit from smart antenna, Cambion, Radwin, whatever you name it. Everyone is doing smart antenna today, even the biggest company like Nokia, Ericsson. This is almost by standard, by default, okay? The main idea that it's, the antenna, consists of several elements that you can play with remote control, or by external control. You can change the behavior of the antenna. And this is the main idea, that you can control the antenna and give the antenna some kind of command in order to control the direction, the capacity, and everything. So this is the main idea of smart antenna. You have antenna, it's almost passive, but there is a lot of control that going from the radio. So the radio know all the time, over their efficiency, let's say protocol, what to do, and it gives some kind of control to the antenna. Regarding CBRS, I think everyone understand that now CBRS is a crazy thing. So I will try to just show you. I'm not sure where it is. Okay, here. Just show you the last FCC that November 17. Okay, this is part of one of the auction of FCC for for the auction of CBRS, although it's out of the CBRS because CBRS started in 3.5. But in any case, the main idea again for these 22 billion US dollar is the capacity. Okay, everyone is looking how to survive, how to give more and more capacity. So LTE. So first of all, CBRS it's kind of LTE-based service. Okay. It was a military service in the beginning. Most of the major cellular and the, and cable are going to all the auction. They try to get some part of this spectrum, whatever. There is a priority, not priority, but the main idea is that everyone jumping inside in order to get some part of this band. Okay. This is the first shared spectrum assignment mechanism. It's very important that you have a main control, which calls the SAS, okay, that it's a spectrum allocation server. There are so many now. In the beginning, there was 2, I think. Now there was about 6, 7, including Comscore, Google, I don't know, who knows. I think about more than 6, 7 people, companies, sorry, not people, company that are doing the size mechanism because it's a business case. Everyone pay for them for this kind of service. So any unit that going up in the network need to make a registration in this SAS, and they know where are you located from the GPS, and they know what kind of band and channel to available for you. And the main idea that once you don't use it, it's free for others. So, but of course there is also priority, and there's 3 levels of CBRS. I don't go again to detail of CBRS, but the main idea that you have 3 levels of CBRS. So some of them is priority, some of them is available for everyone. So everyone trying to find again a piece of this, an auction, whatever, and there is a lot of more and more company going like there you can find equipment from of course Bicel, Terrad, Blink, Nokia, Ericsson, and I think there is also some other going inside new parts. Some of them are doing only CPE, like Gemtech. Some of them are going to this market with the new CPE. So the main idea that CBRS it's a kind of standard. Okay, you can use whatever you want in the edge. You can use whatever you want. Kind of unit that support this the LTE. So this is the main idea of CBRS. TV white space. Okay, TV white space, although it's not so much like the CBRS of 5.8, but the benefit of TV white space that it can reach to a long area. It have a lot of efficiency in a big area that you don't need a lot of capacity, but you need coverage like rural market. So it's very effective. It's also support to control by kind of SAS database, but today there is a lot of problem with this frequency. From our experience with customer, there is still a lot of noise. The main idea of TV widespread, there is a lot of bandwidth, available bandwidth, theoretical available, because actually it's already very noisy from the TV channel, but the idea is that between the TV channel there is a space. Okay, we call it white space. So everyone thought in the beginning that they can transmit between two TV channels. The problem is that there are some TV channels that are still analog, so there's a lot of noise, and this spectrum is still under construction by the FCC and everything. But I think that it will be more effective in about 1 year, because there is some area that you can use this, some area you cannot use it. So I think it will be very effective, very good solution for some area. But again, the main idea is to support the demand for everyone, because there are some area that, I don't know, 3 years ago they don't need any connection, but today all the machine, all the agriculture machine, everything need a connection, everything need a video. So there is a demand for area that they are not covered today. So TV white space is a good solution for this area. So I will be back on technical, but first of all, I want to give you a few words about MTI. So first of all, we are almost 41 years, sorry. We still a world leader in flat planet antenna, because there is a lot of antenna companies that are doing different things, but flat panel, I think we're doing very well with a lot of OEM worldwide. Our niche market, okay, it's a niche market because we are not talking about mass production for million of antenna. We are not doing rubber antenna or even cellular or mobile antenna. We are doing broadband. So we are doing high quality antenna solution for OEM, for many radio vendor. Everyone understand that once they buy MTI, they buy quality, and I will explain why quality. In quality, it's mean performance. Okay, and when you choose a quality antenna, it means performance. And I think we are still number one in OEM market for the broadband. Okay, if you look on the market, I will show you a short list of our customer. In the end, we'll understand that when I talk number one in OEM, it doesn't mean that from my point of view, it doesn't care if it's E-band or V-band or what frequency. The main idea that we support the OEM market, the radio market, which most of them doesn't want or doesn't need to go to design a new antenna. So MTI doing, I think, 3 different business units, or maybe 2, but one of them is the defense market. We are very strong in the defense market in Israel and worldwide. We are doing a lot of, I don't know, from submarine up to Air Force, a lot of application, a lot of things. I don't want to dig inside, but you can see in the website all the application. In the commercial market, we have 2 different business units. One of them is RFID, which also a kind of complicated solution for mostly application. All the toll road that you are going, or all the tag that you have RFID. We're doing the reader, not the tag, which is very cheap solution, but the reader in warehouse and everything that are covered with reader. We're doing the reader, even races of car and races of people, runner. There is always RFID reader in the ground. So it's a lot of application based, but it's very complicated. And we have also the broadband that I belong to the broadband solution, which we are doing a lot of kind of wireless application for different kind of vendor. From the product solution, we have we have for example, the TV white space, a very nice portfolio, 700, some frequency up to E-band and V-band. And of course, we have all the others, all the solution that you need from base station, subscriber, which is CP, Omni, and so on. We are doing also a very unique solution, more and more, I see more. In the beginning, there are a lot of companies doing this, but we're doing a specific solution for radio, okay? There are so many radio vendors that doesn't have in the beginning the enclosure, so a lot of integrator that they're doing some combination between radio from, I don't know, Microcom or from other vendor. They're putting this in this enclosure and they get off-the-shelf solution with multiple options for to put antenna. So you can choose whatever you want antenna from our portfolio, from TV white space up to whatever, and you can combine this with the same enclosure. So people, for example, are doing 2.4 solution, 5.5 solution, or 3.5 solution, and they use the same enclosure, the same design with a different antenna. It's very mature, very flexible from MIMO. A lot of option to connector in the bottom, in the up. Very nice option to customize this in and for engineering in the inside. So the first question that many people say, okay, how much it cost me? How much it cost me to buy this antenna? Oh, it's very expensive, or it costs more. I know that today there is going to be crazy in the world because logistics are changing, shipping costs are crazy. But still, I think it's a wrong question from the beginning. Okay, after that you can do some calculation, what is what for you, what not. But the main idea to ask how much it costs, because you need to know some other effect. For example, when you look on how much it costs for installation, okay. Wait a minute. Okay. So how much it costs you, for example, to do installation? Okay. So the question is, if you install the wrong antenna, okay, you need to send again all the system in order to do some picture. Okay. It seems like some picture, but okay, sorry. Okay, so you can see a lot of installation which you need to do in the beginning, and if you choose the wrong antenna, or the wrong solution to install it, you need to run again and to make the installation again, and you understand that doing a new installation, it's costs so much money. So the question is not how much money it's cost me, how much it will cost me to do the reinstallation of the equipment. Okay, and we know that it's cost thousands, specific on when we're talking about a big pool, and you need to run every day. It's thousands of people, or thousands of US dollar to pay for to installer. So I would try to go very shortly about antenna parameter, because there is a lot of information on the web, but I'm open also for the questions. So there are some main main antenna parameter. First of all is the frequency. It's very clear. Everyone, when they ask antenna, I said, look, I need CBRS antenna, I need TV white space antenna. Okay, so the frequency is number one. It's very clear. Okay, of course, there are some antenna that support multiple band and blah blah blah, dual band. It's been 2.4, 5.8. But again, the same around is the frequency. Okay, yes or no? Support the frequency band? Yes or no? Then you have the gain. Okay, which very important. Okay, many people said, okay, I need 3 CBRS. I don't know, 18 dBi, 14 dBi, whatever. Okay, also in the gain, it's very clear, but you need to know that to read in the spec that it's some customer or some vendor, you can see between the line, which they write typical or average or whatever. It's very critical for the network coverage, because if it's typical 15 dBi or maximum 15 dBi or or average 15 dBi. So you really don't know what is the effective gain of for your calculation. It's 13 dBi or 14 dBi. Okay. So the gain is very clear, but still you need to be aware that there is a lot of tricks when people try to say the gain, and also they can write whatever the gain, but you will never know what is the really gain until you test it in the lab. So from MTI, you can get all the details of specific antenna, all the test lab. It's free. Some of our already antenna are in Google database. We can give you whatever you want regarding the performance of specific antenna, free of charge for your design, network design. Beamwidth is very clear, specific for sector antenna. It's the -3 dB degradation. Then this is from this, according to the standard, you fix the, the azimuth of specific antenna. It's very clear. Everyone know that -3 dB is the azimuth of the sector. And we will talk about the side lobe, which is very critical in detail. Front to back ratio, we have a specific slide. Cross polarization, of course, we talk about 8x8, 60x60. So it's very clear that also this parameter is very important. And only the lab, in the lab you can test it, and you need to read the spec. Because there are so many polarization today, 8x8 it's not enough, so you need to test to see what is the cross polarization ratio, and of course the environment. Everything, all the antenna are outdoor. You need to know that it must be a very tough environment in the outdoor, snow or wind, whatever, water, humidity, I don't know, sun, everything, it's environment. Okay, bottom line. So we give a warranty of 3 years for our antenna. Try to understand, 3 years warranty. There is no company that giving 3 years, even the biggest one doesn't give you 3 years warranty for anything today. So we believe in our antenna, and as I mentioned, we are quality niche solution antenna. And this is the reason that we think the environment is very critical for you. Again, from installation, you don't want to run after, I don't know, 2 months, then found that water getting inside the antenna or humidity, and they destroyed all the antenna from inside, or the radome. The radome can be cracked or change the behavior of the antenna because it's not really, the radome is the cover of the antenna. It's not really a regular plastic, a specific plastic that, with the specific materials. So even the radome can be changed and change the antenna behavior. So again, everything, it's environment, okay? It's very tough environment outside, and we support you with this as well. I'm not sure if there is any, when I'm talking about environment, by the way, I'm talking about shocking and vibration and wind load, everything you can find in MTI spec. So all of these, it's environment. Try to understand that you take antenna from one place to other place and it fail. What is the vibration? What is the, the shock and everything? So everything, it's environment, but it's very critical for outdoor unit. So side lobe, in general, every design that you are doing with antenna, there is always a side lobe. Okay, it can be big, small, multiple. So we call first type. This is the main lobe. Okay, you can see my pointer. So this is the first lobe, second and third. Of course, the more the side lobe is going down, of course, it's less. Let's say. Higher, but the problem is that that once you don't design the antenna correctly, so you have a very high side lobe, and this is caused two problems. First of all, it's getting a noise from the environment. Okay, if you have a very high side lobe, so it's getting a noise from the side, and also it taking power from the main lobe, and also it might cause a problem for a customer that try to point to the antenna. I'm talking now about the sector antenna, not CPE. Of course, CPE, it's, the main lobe, it's very sharp and in order to make it longer. But again, the lower side lobe, okay, you will get less interference from the environment. Try to understand that the radio that you are installed is not in open space, okay? There are so many companies, there are so many radios, so many antenna on the same frequency, on the same area, even very close area, one up, one down, and you must keep the lower side lobe that you must in very crowded areas. So this is the reason you can play your network the best, okay? But one people that put in another antenna near, very close to your antenna, and you have a very bad side lobe, you can destroy all the network, okay? Try to understand that it's a cell configuration on a big tower. So in general, okay, it can cause anything between 10 to 50% coverage bandwidth, okay? If you have, depend what is the side lobe. General. So side lobe is very critical for your network, and everything, by the way, can be given by test from MTI. The other very critical, I think, parameter is the front to back ratio. Most of the company, most of the people, most of the customer are doing the WISP. Everything are doing, reuse of frequencies. So when we say front to back ratio, any antenna, again, any antenna that you want, even you design the best antenna, there is always, you can see a small portion of the power is going on the back. And we need to keep it as smallest as we can, okay? Because it transmits outside to other antenna that if you try to imagine reuse of 1 to 3 or 1 to 2 configuration in a tower, in a cell, you have antenna back to back. So this is the reason that you need to keep it very slow. Even there's very low, sorry. Even it's not coming from your antenna, from other antenna that transmit against you. Against the back of the antenna. So still, if you have a wrong, let's say a big the front to back ratio big, so it means that it's good. But if you have lower than the back ratio, so it means that more noise is getting from the back of the antenna. So again, it's interference from adjacent sector, decrease the cell capacity. So it's very important feature. I think 30, 35 front to back ratio, it's a good ratio, okay? So in general, it's also something that you need to keep in mind. Okay, so what will happen if you have a very, a best selected antenna or best selected solution for antenna? I'm not going about this, but you understand that coverage, throughput, you need to always to dealing with installation and the installation, water inside, I don't know, the antenna doesn't work, doesn't make it time consuming, customer charm, customer are not happy. Of course, lower ROI because you need to install more. If you look on different solution, the same area, you can see here that you have a less, less coverage on the same area, on the same tree sector, okay? Same tree sector, site, you have better coverage here. And again, it's a network design, okay? You can check two different antenna. It's look like from two vendors. It look like the same parameter, same gain, the same everything, but when you go to detail design, you will see a big difference. And this is also example of what we have done with one of our OEM, one of our customer, that you can see a big difference on the same radio from the same vendor. This is our antenna, by the way. This is the competitive antenna, competition antenna, sorry. So you can see a big difference from coverage, even the capacity in green. You can see in green, it's much higher because the antenna has a better side lobe, better better, let's say, front to back ratio, which help them to do more frequency reuse, more capacity on the tower. So you can see the difference. Okay, it's really a real network design. Compare on the same area with one antenna vendor and MTI antenna. So how much it costs? It's you know, it's a question, but you need to think about, first of all, performance, high quality. What is the ROI that you can get? Although maybe I can pay 100 more, but I get 3 years warranty, or I can, you know, I can live with this solution for 10 years or whatever. So everything is cost benefit for you. So to put the number and making the calculation. Just give you idea about how many you know, part of our customers. You can see Radwin still very good MTI customer. Recently, Nokia is going with MTI more and more with the E-band. We still have a connection with Cambion, although Cambion is moving to smart antenna, beamforming, and so they try to do most of their job with EPMP internally. Comscope, Rocus, recently we have some relationship. Aruba, for a long time, we have a very good relationship with them. SIE, Fluid Mesh with Cisco today, Uber, Zuner, Siemens, Mimosa by Airspace, Redline, Ciclu, Bicer, Serago, Gito, and more and more. Okay, more and more customer on the list, but I gave, you know, some names that are might be familiar with some of you. For example, Ciclu, I'm sure that everyone familiar with Mimosa. Again, there are some customers that are worldwide, like Uber, Zuner, Siemens, Aruba. Some of them are locally in the US market, but in general speaking, most of them are very giant customer. Like Fluid Mesh today, they are, you know, they bought by Cisco, so Cisco work today with MTI. I think we have done. I hope that you get some points for you know, for thinking. And so the main idea that we know how to do quality antenna, which give you performance, and I guarantee performance. Okay, there is a guarantee from MTI doing performance from materials, environment, design, manufacturing, and so on. One important thing that I didn't mention regarding the cost, we have a manufacturer in India controlled by a local team from MTI, you know, from Israel. It's owned by MTI, and we are doing the manufacture this because we want to keep, again, one thing, the quality is the same, and the price, we want to reduce the cost of, you know, of the price, final price for the customer. So this is the reason that we open a manufacturer in India. I think we're done.
Ofer, thank you very much for that wonderful presentation. And yes, I do have some questions from the audience for you. Let's go ahead and get started with the first one. Question here asks, are all of your mounting kits, can they be purchased separately?
Yeah. Yeah, the answer is yes. Unfortunately, we sell a lot of mounting kit without antenna. Again, it's a very mature product for installation, like utility. Even many of the EM are using or used in the past our bracket. The answer is yes. You can buy the bracket separately from the antenna.
Thank you very much for that. Thank you, Ofer. Next question here for you. Will your antennas work with any third-party network hardware?
Sorry, can you repeat again the question? Sorry.
Yes. Will your antennas work with any third-party network hardware?
The question, yes, 99, almost 99.99, but sometimes we need to take care about, for example, what kind of port they are looking. You know, sometimes some people prefer a specific connector or something like that. But in general, if it's the right frequency and the right configuration that we have, there is no limitation to connect any radio to our antenna.
Thank you for that, Ofer. Next question here for you. You had mentioned that you can help out with the setup of a customer if they're interested. Will they call you directly, or what is the best way for a customer to get in touch with MTI Wireless Edge if they need this kind of guidance?
Very simple. They go via our website and open a ticket or open a connection. It's immediately after one day. They will get an answer from me, or they can get whatever from you. My direct contact. It's not an issue. Everything is we are very open for any question, direct question. There is no need to go, you know, like bottom line, they will buy from the distributor if it's not OEM, but you know, they need any kind of solution, they can buy from the distributor, but they will get all the support from MTI and configuration, question, whatever they need. So they can either get my detail directly from you, or they can go via the MTI website.
Very good. Thank you so much for that, Ofer. Next question here for you. What antenna would you recommend for a 1 kilometer distance with things that might be blocking visibility, perhaps trees or walls? What would you recommend?
Only TV white space. TV white space, there are 2-3 manufacturers that already have open TV white space. I think one of them it's Redline, the other one it's Radwin, and I think there is another one which has been Adaptron, I think maybe another one. But if you have you know some problem in line of sight, TV white space can be a very good solution for this kind of you know, network topology.
Thank you so much for that, Ofer. Next question here for you. Regarding technical support, can anybody go online at any time and reach out to, if they want to maybe contact Microcom first, or they can go to your website and contact you and open a ticket at any time? Is that correct?
Yeah, you know, it's very simple. Once they do a connection via email, I can give them you know, my detail. We can do Zoom, we can do a WhatsApp call, we can do direct call, whatever they need. I'm available. Just a reminder that we are 7 hours ahead of the East Coast and 10 hours ahead of the West Coast. So it's been that today now it's almost 9 p.m. So just try to understand that I can be available up to, I don't know, around midnight our time, which is mean that 10 hours in the West Coast before 2 p.m. So this is the only problem, I think, that you know, the time signal. I work on Friday as well, so if someone needs me on Friday, I can be available, although in Israel it's a weekend, but Friday it's also an option to talk with me as well.
Thank you, Ofer, for giving us that general information and the information about the time difference. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Next question here for you is regarding your warranty. I know you mentioned it's a 3-year warranty, which is great. The follow-up question here is, are there direct replacements, or if anything needs to be replaced under warranty? Can you tell us how that works?
In general, I can be sorry. for the 13 years for that I'm here in the company, I met about 3 or 4 cases of antenna that was damaged during some process. Some, one of them, it was clear, for example, that it was by the installer. They didn't, they put a lot of power on to close the cable. So in bottom line, we, in general, if it's a good customer, we know that we trust him. We replace, we send free one by one, but sometimes our queue manager, because it's very interesting for him to investigate the case in order to get some recommendation for the future. He asked to send the antenna back, but mostly we replace one by one the antenna in general. I'm not talking about the RMA procedure. By the way, RMA procedure, it's on our website. Bottom line,
Great.
we replace one by one.
Thank you so much, Ofer. Last question here for you. Somebody asked about manufacturing, and you had mentioned that you manufacture in India and that it's very successful for you because you own the manufacturing company, which is excellent. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
We have a big manufacturer in India in a very tax-free area zone. Okay, we have I think one of the biggest manufacturer in this area in Cochin. The main idea that some of the sub-component we consume locally from a local vendor. Of course, we develop all the industrial there because our quality is very high. So, and we need to educate them for the process. It's take a long process, but we have for each sub-component, we have at least three different approved vendor. We do a lot of QA procedure for them, and some of them we still buy from China. There is no replacement. And some of the things still ship from Israel, and some of the materials. But bottom line, the manufacturer is owned almost 100% by MTI. It means that it's fully controlled by the MTI CEO, the QA manager, and the local CEO is Israeli guy, which give us more flexibility of doing some process inside, and we are doing a lot of broadband military there from the India military. Actually, we have two manufacturers. The one is Global Wave, which is 100% owned by MTI, and the other one is, I think, 48. It's doing a lot of military from the military market in India locally. So it's very successful. Till now, we reduced the cost by 50%, and although all the market is going crazy, but in India it's still, the value for the money is very high. So we, by the way, we don't. It's not. I must say, it's not slave. Okay, it's a very very appreciated worker. I must say that MTI doing a lot for the local worker. Just give you idea, I know it's not connected, but we have done operation in India to give a COVID shot for all the family of the worker and the worker by MTI. We pay everything, including the doctor, the COVID, everything. So it doesn't mean, it's not cost so much, we're talking about US dollar, but it's mean that we are care for our worker. But bottom line, they are paid less than any other one in the US and Israel. So yeah, so we try to keep the price as much as we can low in India.
Ofer, thank you so much for that detailed information about the manufacturing. It's very interesting. Thank you. And thank you for answering all of our questions today. And thank you to everyone for attending today's webinar. And if anyone has any further questions, please feel free to reach out to your sales rep or email us at sales@microcomtech.com. And if you wish to view any of the products mentioned or shown today, please visit us at www.microcom.us. And also remember, this webinar presentation has been recorded and will be uploaded to our Microcom YouTube channel so you can view it again. Thank you, Ofer, for your time. Appreciate it so very much. And until next time, everybody have a fantastic day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.